Darker than the ocean, deeper than the sea. You got everything.
Hi guys, I just want to say thank you for the support for my first video. It meant a lot to me that a lot of you actually reached out talking about the experiences that you guys go through, and that's kind of why I wanted to start this channel, was to connect people and to help people. I feel like a lot of people say that they support those with mental illnesses or that they want to be a part of the movement. The second someone wants to open the conversation, they're silent. And I think that's also part of the stigma, is that a lot of people feel that they need to hide. I was a little hesitant of filming today because I woke up and I felt really down. When I'm in a depressive episode, it just feels as if everything is pointless. Obviously, that's not true. One of the biggest symptoms of depression is just the feeling of worthlessness and feeling that, your days just kind of pass you by. And I think one of the hardest struggles with having depression is that I do have to put a mask on if I do decide to go out and see people. My personality itself is very bubbly. I do like being around people, like I said in the previous video. So I guess that's why I kind of saw that my mental illness was separate from who I am. I am diagnosed with major depressive disorder. That is actually the diagnosis that I kind of stuck by before I was diagnosed with BPD. It's just, I go in and out of waves of depression, and they could be unexpected. Nothing can necessarily trigger them. There could be a trigger. Most of the time, there is no trigger. I don't really want to say that it's all negative thinking because, there's a lot of things that go on in my mind that lead to the depressive thoughts, the suicidal thoughts, the self-harm. Another thing that kind of upsets me, or what I kind of go through, is that I'll go through therapy, I'll be on my medication, I'll be consistent, but then I'll get the urge to self-harm. Well, instead of self-harming, I won't eat. So see how that works in my head. It's like, at least you're not cutting yourself, or I'll overeat, or I won't sleep, or I won't shower, or I just won't do anything to necessarily self-care. And that's kind of my way of self-harming, and that's kind of a habit I've been trying to break. It's not healthy at all. It's not. I really hope that no one would ever find themselves in this situation, but it's just kind of something I found myself doing. I do tell people, my close friends, that I have a depressive episode, but only a few people really know what that means. So I just want to talk about depression. A little bit of having like an open discussion about what kind of bothers me about the stigma, my experience with depression. Like I said, I am diagnosed with major depressive disorder alongside my BPD and other diagnoses. But today, I want to talk about the stigma of depression that bothers me the most. People think that you can just pick yourself up and go. There are people who still have depression and can still function in their daily lives. For the people who have low functioning depression, for example, me, it's very, very difficult to find reason to get out of bed. Those Prozac commercials that say that life is like black and white, everything is just gray, and there's no feeling to everything. Like, it's sad to say that that's a pretty accurate depiction, in my opinion, of what depression feels like. And I know a lot of people experience this, and a lot of people are too scared to reach out to people to voice how they feel about it. And I feel like that's a lot of the problem, is that people want to say that they support those with depression, or that they support, the movement with mental health, but the second someone reaches out for help, they look the other way. I understand that it can still be very taboo to talk about these things, but at the same time, the only way that we're going to open the conversation is if we practice talking about it. And I personally don't see anything wrong with making sure that your mental health is okay, because you're the one that has to live in your mind all day. You're the one that has to push yourself. What's wrong with making sure that the person in your head is okay? And what upsets me the most is when I see people, especially if a close family friend or just someone, dies by suicide, or if they take their own lives, when someone says, oh, it's so sad, like, people really need to help people with depression. But then, like I said, people don't really want to talk about it. People don't really want to reach out for help because they're scared that people are going to judge them, or people are going to see them as weak. But at the same time, it's just this really silent killer that everyone is experiencing, but no one wants to talk about. There's a lot of symptoms that come with depression, and everyone experiences it in their own way. Honestly, I also have issues with dissociative anxiety, and that's a part of my BPD that I'll talk about in the future. It's just difficult to feel like your mind and your body aren't connected, and to also feel that your body isn't connected to the world that we live in. I understand if people don't understand what that feels like, because, good for you if you don't experience these kinds of feelings, if you feel connected, if you're able to get yourself out of bed and you're able to just function. But that's why it's a chronic mental illness, is because it's not the way someone is supposed to live their life. It's not normal, and it's not healthy. And that's why we should talk about it. Depression should not only be valid after a person dies by suicide. It should be valid before that, because the only way to prevent attempted suicides is to reach out and make sure that people are okay. No matter how depressed I get, I tell myself that it's worth experiencing and going through. If I do give in to my depressive thoughts, then I'm never going to experience the forgiveness or the love or the reconnection that comes with continuing to, basically live. I question, am I going to give up on myself? I have been hospitalized. Last August, I actually spent my 22nd birthday in a psych ward. I was also hiding. No one really knew that was going on with me. Whatever you put on social media is your best self. But I decided that I wanted to get better and that I didn't want to give up. So I know how it feels to feel that low, and I know how it feels to feel like you have nowhere else to, really go to, but that's not necessarily true. As a person with chronic depression and, and then some, I just want to say that, you're not alone. It's okay to experience what you're experiencing, but keep pushing yourself, even if it's just washing the dishes or making your bed or getting out of bed. Just take the first step in front of you, and that's one step closer to getting better. It may not be a victory to other people. Recovery doesn't really have a timeline, and it's not linear, and it's unique to everyone else, but as long as you're still pushing yourself, then that's what really matters. Kind of setting a soft goal for myself to post every Monday and Thursday. Mondays kind of being more towards, mental health. I want to say the hashtag mental health Mondays, and I would like Thursdays to be kind of an open discussion about whatever subject I want to talk about. So that would be, let's talk about it Thursdays. So let me know what you guys think, and if you have any ideas or any suggestions about things you kind of want me to talk about or any questions that you think I should answer, feel free to, message me or comment down below. And please like and subscribe for future videos. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Whisper in my ear, I'm the only one you're loving on.